Welcome to week number 5, the final week of the customer service revolution. It all starts with having a vision of what could be. A true purpose is a vision of how you will make the world a better place. A captivating vision inspires people to become evangelists around a movement. It's not the great idea that works. It's the great passion behind it. Every original idea was met with eye-rolling and laughing. That is why most are killed long before they can ever become great. If you have a great idea, put on a bulletproof vest and get after it. Passion is the emotional fuel that drives your vision. It's what you hold on to when your ideas are being challenged and people turn you down. When you are rejected by the so-called experts and the people closest to you. It's the fuel that keeps you going when there's no outside validation for your dream. First, you need to believe in yourself. Don't waver. There will be people that don't think like you do, that don't have your vision, who can't comprehend being a visionary.
And effective leaders are people who understand that the two elements you focus on are results and human satisfaction. And great leaders do it by understanding and being able to engage in 4 areas that are really important. The first one is to have the right target and vision. See, leadership's about going somewheres, but people got to know, where are you going? The second one that they really understand and take care of is their people. They treat their people right. And then the third one, which we've already mentioned, and it's really where we're focused on, is to what? Take care and treat your customers right. Now, the fourth one, I think, really brings it together. So you have a compelling vision, you treat your people right, you treat your customers right, and what brings it together? To having the right kind of leadership. And to me, the right kind of leadership is servant leadership.
I am thrilled to share how some of my most successful clients have achieved unified implementation throughout their brand. Number 1, include key players early and often. Number 2, tell them the what's in it for them. Number 3, beta test. 4, walk the talk. And finally, number 5, huddle up.
How not only is kindness powerful, but it's necessary in today's marketplace. But what we've done as a culture and as a business community is relegated kindness to a very basic elementary principle. We've decided that as adults we should know better and know what kindness looks like. But let me tell you, most of us need a re-education. We need to reimagine what kindness really means. We need a kindness revolution. Now, I know there are people who, in negotiations and conversations and contract talks, are able to be the bulldog, but you can be the kind bulldog. You know, I think about somebody, really, just bear with me, the kind bulldog, think about it, where you are assertive, where you do know what you want, where you do stand up for what you believe in, but you also have the calm, that strength.
The reality distortion field was a combination of Jobs' charismatic style, indomitable will, and an eagerness to bend any fact to fit the purpose at hand. Even though Apple employees were aware of what Jobs was doing, they would eventually give up and go along with it, and end up doing the impossible.
Philosophically, you turn the pyramid upside down, so now everybody works for their people who eventually works for their customer. And that's really what makes servant leadership come alive.
Real buy-in involves at least some element of co-creation. It invites necessary discussion, healthy debate, and allows everyone to feel even more invested in the outcome. You can listen for any criticism or objections early on. This way, you can adjust your approach immediately and redirect the conversation. Don't be afraid to be assertive in addressing instances where you see objections forming. This is important for 2 reasons. First, small problems have a bad habit of swelling into larger ones if not addressed. Second, you don't want any unhappy employees poisoning the minds of other employees who are excited about your training program.
If you look up the definition of kindness in the oldest dictionaries, it doesn't just mean helping somebody. It doesn't just mean looking out for someone in need, but it means making others happy or giving them help by granting their desires or their requests.
It wasn't just dangerous, it was impossible. The human body had reached its limit. Then on May 6, 1954, Roger Bannister made history and shocked the world when he broke the 4-minute mile barrier. The impossible was made possible. Could this feat ever happen again? Well, within the next 12 months, 24 more runners broke the 4-minute mile mark. So I ask you, what happened in those 12 months? Did the human anatomy change? No. The belief system of what people thought was possible had changed.
The direct report gives their manager their report card, and it has first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter overall performance. And in that quarter, they write down their goals and they give themselves an A, a B, or a C. There's no D's or F's. And the job of the manager is agree or disagree. And sometimes somebody might rate themselves high and the manager might say, I don't think that's quite an A yet. It's a good solid B. Let's talk about how we make it an A. Or somebody might rate themselves low and the manager might say, I don't think that's a C. I think it's up there with that B. How can we move it to an A?
Beta test in one department and share results. There is no better way to convince a critical person than proving the success with metrics and results that they can understand. If your critic can see that another department's key performance indicators increased by X% when they implemented your program, there'll be no choice left but to get on board. And we'll all be better for it. So celebrate the success with those departments and present it to others in a case study format, showing those benchmark metrics, industry averages, and then your improvement scores.
Scheduling kindness throughout the day lends itself to me becoming enamored with kindness, becoming programmed to function in a kind mindset. Use your resources for the benefit of others. I have a woman who works on my team, and she found out that a couple of her friends had been furloughed. She called a number of mutual friends. And she said, what are we going to do about it? They gathered their resources together and made sure that those friends who were removed from their job had groceries and meals for the next 2 months. She was using her resources. She was working as a team. She was collectively taking ownership of community.
As the pandemic hit in March, I was at NYU taking classes. I returned home for 5 months and made the decision to produce my original song, Reimagine, hoping that it would create a ripple for change in others. The chorus goes a little something like this. Reimagine what could be. Be the change that you want to see. When the world needs something new, let it come from you and reimagine.
And my last point to you today is be kind to yourself. Make the time for whatever you can do to stay relaxed, to stay calm, because people need a safe harbor in the eye of a storm. Because your kind self is your best self. You won't just be known as a kind company for your great product. You'll actually end up making kindness famous. And that's something we all need to see.
You are a revolutionary if, and only if, you are fascinated by the future, restless for change, impatient for progress, and deeply dissatisfied with the status quo. As a revolutionary, you are never satisfied with the present because in your head, you can see a better future. And the friction between what is and what could be burns you, stirs you, and propels you forward. Let's go start a revolution.
In the night, in the darkness, shines a brilliant light for all to to see. Through all the strife and the destruction, sings a voice so strong for all to hear. That voice is you, standing true, running to the lead to find your dream. So keep the faith, don't hesitate. Be the change you want the world to make. Reimagine what could be the change you want to see. When the world needs something new, let it come from you. And reimagine, reimagine. March on to your destiny. Pave the path for all to see. You're soaring high above the clouds. Reimagine, there's no stopping you now. Reimagine what could be the change you want to see. When the world needs something new, let it come from you. And reimagine, reimagine. Oh, and just believe. Wait and you'll see. Lead the way. The world won't be the same. Reimagine what could be the change you want to see. When the world needs something new, let it come from you. Reimagine what could be the change you want to see. When the world needs something new, let it come from you. And reimagine, reimagine. When the world needs something new, let it come from you. And reimagine, reimagine. In the night, in the darkness, shines a brilliant light for all to see. Let it come from you and reimagine.